Now stop horsing around and get ready!
Video sponsored by Surfshark VPN. Maybe it was the lack of DVD player, weak third-party support, no online, but the Gamecube just didn't sell well. Though, after its lifetime, Nintendo consoles and the world's population in general grew. Too bad they never made enough Gamecubes to appease all those new fans looking towards the past. This has caused prices to skyrocket. So, tonight, let's cover some of the best, worst, expensive, or just whatever I feel like. You got games you want me to cover? Put it down below. It's Juice and Jam time.
A new opponent is ready to face you.
We want fun, and you might as well face it. We wanna have fun, and we wanna get wasted.
A 2-liter bottle of Shasta and my all-Rush mixtape. Let's rock.
To renew interest in the medium and revive the struggling economy, the Toon World turns to Spumco Studios to help produce a major action-packed cartoon featuring extreme skateboarding.
Yes, this is the origin of that one song I use, from two completely different studios who each gave us Ren and Stimpy and Persona, comes the collab creation of Go Hypergrind, a wild skateboarding game featuring many furry humanoid animals. Yeah, forget Persona, get yourself a Fursona. As expected from this sport, you'll have to get a high score from doing tricks, but also hurting yourself. By timing a button press near a death trap, your character will be squashed, stretched, decapitated, stabbed, covered in bodily fluids, all the things I dream of. It's pretty simple, but certain traps require timing or setup, such as lighting yourself on fire before you can use a bomb. Now, the whole point is to hurt yourself, but sometimes hurting yourself the wrong way kills your combo. Like, you can only get hit by a car or a train in the front end. Should you hit the sides or back, the combo ends, but you still get hurt for nothing. And then there's these booby traps you gotta jump on top of. You can't slide into it. If you do, it kills your combo. Like, what difference does it make? Remember, you have to tap the X button before getting hurt. Constantly, you'll just be hammering X unless you get sidelined off camera. I swear, sometimes it just doesn't even register. Oh, come on! The pain mechanic is referred to by the game as a gimmick, which is pretty accurate. Without the cel-shaded graphics and music, I would not be playing this. Fundamentally, the actual skateboard tricks are limited and the physics feel like they were programmed by someone who lived their whole life in zero gravity. It does not feel natural whatsoever. Like, you gotta hold the shoulder buttons to rotate in the air. I got used to it, but this could have been a lot better. Hypergrind has a faulty foundation while they add all these other modes on top, like a battle mode where you gotta hurt yourself for ammo, and point the right analog stick to shoot in a vague direction. It's pretty bad, and the AI takes no prisoners.
What was all that about? Yeah. We talk big time, it's true.
So don't rub it in.
Yeah, enough is enough, yo.
Well, is the story any better?
You still have that short temper.
With the magic of JPEG sliding around, the story mode follows these toons competing to be the star of their own Spumco show. Gee, that's about as appealing as getting casted in a Harvey Weinstein film. With all the characters and conflicts they set up, by the end, no one's story gets resolved. Conflicts about finding a long-lost brother or wanting to be popular like what this mummy girl aspires to be.
They don't teach you how to be popular in school.
Huh, what's on that photo she's looking at?
Oh, rated T14, my ass. Damn, son.
By the way, if you're worried about Pedo John K working on this game, well, he's credited as a producer and did early concept doodles, but other designers actually finished and refined his scribbles, which is typical of John's career. Now, for sure, he had nothing to do with the music. It's maybe the game's best feature, with tracks by Tsunami Bomb and Grizzly, a Japanese pop-punk band so obscure even Sam Register couldn't give them a cartoon. It's tough to find anything on Grizzly, but the lead singer, Frida, is still active with fashion and YouTube. She even made a video going over Grizzly's short history, both in English and Japanese. If you're curious about Go Hypergrind, good luck playing it, as the price has really shot up to the hundreds. I bought this used on eBay in 2014 for about 20 bucks. I wouldn't say it's worth it. There's better skating games and its gimmicky ideas wear off quickly. Oh well, maybe Bob Camp could have done it better.
Loosen up your diapers. Get your guts grody. Loosen up your diapers.
You could call this game the poor man's Crazy Taxi, but that would imply this game has anything to do with being a cab driver. Oh sure, you drive a taxi in Smashing Drive, but this is a typical arcade racing game. Just drive to the finish line and destroy everything in your way. Don't forget the upgrades like turbos, monster truck tires, sound cannons. You can beat the whole game in 30 minutes, but in that half hour, it's a wild ride. There's so many alternate pathways you'll be driving through. Apartments, stadiums, shopping malls, up the prostate of King Kong cometh.
In the city alone.
Hey, why, that sounds like Gabriel's trumpet. You know what that means, kids?
Yes, driving can feel totally janky, and the short timer is eager to steal your virtual quarter, but it's so much chaos in this pure spectacle racer. Imagine being trapped in a burning building, suffocating from the fumes, and the Smashing Drive car crashes through just to cut 2 seconds off its run. This vehicle is the most chaotic evil object in fiction. If you're being robbed at gunpoint in an alleyway, this car would slam through, running you and the mugger over. It has empathy for no one. This truly is a horror game from the monster's perspective. Its tires have killed thousands, and so has its music. The lyrics are this undecipherable mystery language that I can only assume was randomly generated by the CIA. It's completely avant-garde. I don't even know if this fits into a genre. I feel this soundtrack has to be legally ostracized from other music categories. No one should ever willingly accept these music tracks into their village unless they piss off the commoners. Now, originally, the arcade port from the year 2000 had cutscenes between stages. It showed passengers entering and exiting the vehicle, you know, like a taxi. But for some reason, the console version released 2 years later cut that out. Maybe they just regret putting Michael Moore in the game? Like, why does he need to get to the top of the Statue of Liberty so bad? Ruh-roh, hey, what's the Fahrenheit up here? Whoop whoop. Or maybe they thought the human graphics looked last gen and were ashamed by it. Though, have you seen the Game Boy Advance port? Yeah, Game Boy Advance doing 3D, it's practically the same game running fairly well near shot for shot, give or take some stages cut short. But congrats! You did it! You made Smashing Drive on Game Boy Advance! Was it worth it? Possibly. Smashing Drive, much like what Nigel from the Wild Thornberries would say, it's a game.
I'm out. Game over.
Insert name. BCEFGAIJKLNOPQSTED. Congratulations, STD.
1994 on Super Nintendo, there was Kirby's Dream Bowl, a sort of golf game I never played. But 1 year later, a sequel was already announced for the next generation of consoles. Kirby's Dream Bowl 64, same idea with golfing and also a mode where you're on this board. It was planned as a launch title for the N64, but never materialized. Another year followed as trailers were dropped for Kirby's Air Ride. It looked like that same game developed into a racer where you can get off your board. It's interesting, though too bad it just kinda disappeared. That is until 8 years after its first announcement when Kirby's Air Ride finally released on Gamecube in 2003. Kirby game to be directed by Smash creator Sakurai. In its 8+ years of development, which ideas did they use? All of them. Asking what kind of racing game this is like asking what Scanner Darkly was even about. You just can't answer that. Air Ride features 3 game modes, and obviously the best one is Top Ride. All it is a basic top-down racer. It's whatever, but when you had friends over, no one ever played it. Oh, hey, this hexagon-filled location looks familiar. The next mode is Air Ride, a more conventional 3D racer. Now, how do you control this? A for accelerate, B for brakes? No, that is too complicated. It's gotta be more casual friendly than Mario Kart. Air Ride wants to appeal to an even broader audience of tranquilized grandmas who can barely hold a controller. I forgot this vehicle had atrocious speed. So get this, there's no acceleration button. Your ride is always on max speed. You hold A to brake and or drift. You also press A to inhale an enemy and use their powers by pressing A. Sometimes you intend to inhale an enemy only to hit the brakes. It can be tricky. Instead of remembering different buttons with different functions, you gotta remember one button and multiple different forms of timing, since that's apparently easier to explain. Frickin' genius / sarcasm. I love this game and got used to it, but I would not say it's more accessible. You really gotta unlearn everything you know about racers. Once you do, with one button, it's such an easygoing game to play at night. Plus, crashing into walls doesn't stop you too much. It's constantly moving. What I also appreciate is, unlike other kart racers, instead of just picking up items, you got these enemies running around. Kirby sucks them up to take their powers as usual. It fits the brand and makes the world more populated. The mode is fun, wish it had more stages, but the best mode is City Trial. Yeah, up to 4 players dropped into a map to collect upgrades and vehicles. It's very much like a battle royale game. Imagine a modern version of this with 100 players. Hell yeah. There's even random events that occur, like monsters, meteors, or weather attacking the city. A city that's made up of 12 polygons and has an active volcano across the street. There's also this slums-looking area full of scrap metal houses to crash through, murdering the underfunded families inside. Neil Blomkamp would be proud. So you're in this city until the timer hits 0. With the upgrades and vehicles you have, everyone will be tested in one challenge. Drag racing, demolition derbies, a boss battle, you don't know what to expect. Unless you pick the challenge in the menu beforehand. The more you play, the more of this chart you fill out. This chart is just so satisfying, constantly giving you challenges and sometimes unlockables. It'll keep you busy for a long time. Hey, remember the cartoon?
Kirby, that's a name you should know. Kirby, he's the star of the show. He's more than you think, he's got maximum pink. Kirby's the one.
Now, how did you all first hear of this game? Because I remember watching the Fox Box Saturday morning block. They aired a 2-part Kirby anime episode featuring the Air Ride vehicles. Although, it turns out in Japan, this episode was number 96. America was way behind, so they moved that episode down to number 50. Does it make any sense in the continuity? No, they even cut out a character who wasn't introduced yet. But fuck you, kid, buy the game. So Kirby's vehicles are called Warp Stars. Some are easy to use, but then you have these ass-backwards gimmicky ones. Like ones you can only turn while braking. Ones you gotta charge up first. Or whatever this takeout box is good for, I frickin' hate this one. But that's kind of what we loved about it. Those 8 years of development led to a real experimental product, as Kirby's Air Ride can be totally game-breaking at times. While it got average reviews at release, its unconventional style made it far more fondly remembered over time. To ever bring it back and keep that imperfect wonkiness would be such a challenge. Who knows if that could ever happen. We'll be back with more GameCube games after these messages. Surfshark VPN, yes sir, the sponsor of tonight's video. What's a VPN? It's great, it changes your internet region and protects your privacy. You got Netflix, just switch regions and bam, you can see what other countries have on their Netflix. It's that easy. How about something to keep you safe, especially on public Wi-Fi? Nothing can stop you. Use the code RebelTaxi to get 83% off plus 3 extra months. Don't like that? You got a 30-day money-back guarantee. Oh, what? You got an incognito window on your browser? Wow, that's completely useless. Surfshark VPN, it's got clean web. This thing will block malicious ads, trackers, and malware. Don't trust an internet provider, trust Surfshark VPN. Use the code RebelTaxi to get 83% off plus 3 extra months. You got a 30-day money-back guarantee. VPN.
Alright, let's rock!
Hey, you ever wonder what Pokemon would be like as a real-time arena fighter? Well, I got the answer right here.
But we already have Pokken Tournament on the Wii U!
Does Pokken have over 200 playable robot Borgs like Gotcha Force? I don't think so, motherfucker! Yeah, gotcha force, cause I got your ass by force, consensually because we agreed upon it. Now granted, many of these robots are reskins with about 2 or 3 attacks and a cooldown meter, but whatever. Gotcha Force battles are very simple with the camera always locked on as he toss lasers, ninja stars, and fecal matter at each other like me at the last Democratic National Convention. Should your Borg die, you swap in the next one. There's cowboys, samurai, army tanks, jet bombers, tokusatsus, giant dragons, anything. It really gets me inspired to design more characters. With colorful robots and horrific voice acting, Gotcha Force begs to be a shitty anime with a 4Kids dub.
The day after a meteorite fell towards Safari Town, a boy went in search of it, hoping to find an adventure.
Perhaps next time you should schedule the voice recording session before the lobotomy. Sadly, a single game is all this franchise ever was, as the sales were pathetic. But back then, I bought this brand new at a Sam's Club for $5. What a steal. Now, this game goes for hundreds. And the ultra rare official toys made even more so. Too bad I returned the game after the disc stopped reading. But 2 fans have sent me copies forever ago to my P.O. box, so thanks. No idea what's going on here, though. Is the price worth it? Well, like I said, it's pretty simplistic, a real quantity over quality game, but there's just so many different types of Borgs with their own gameplay styles, and you gotta be resourceful. A team has a budget of GF energy. The better the Borg, the more GF they eat up. You get more GF the more you play, so you gotta get that GF. Good old GF. Please, inject that GF into my veins. No GFs here, but I got plenty of female friends who are nice to me. If they plug in their memory card, they can use their own team in co-op or versus. Certain Borgs have more support rules, like healing, poisoning, or wrangling in opponents from a distance.
There! Good!
If you look at the top right here, you'll see Borgs are categorized as Ninja Borgs, Angel Borgs, Girl Borgs, and then there's Pop Honey, the music idol Borg, which there's only one idol in the whole game, so she is the last of her race. Oh great, now I can't aim. No, help, help, I can't aim. With her karaoke, Honey makes the opponents dizzy for a long time. I'm not really one to notice balance issues in games, but a lot of these guys are insanely unbalanced. Like, damn, please, nerf this. I know there's no online, but Capcom, I beg you, come to my house and manually rewrite the disc. Even the Gotcha Force fan-made Wikia friggin' hates Pop Honey and her family. While it's repetitive, simplistic, and unbalanced, Gotcha Force taps into the real-time Pokemon combat we all want. I would love a patched-up HD re-release. Like, imagine if this series took off, maybe with the addition of Capcom guest characters, ones from Mega Man, DMC, or Resident Evil. That would have been so great.
Now, kneel down before me.
At approximately 2200 hours on Wednesday, December 29th, our facilities observed an object entering tracked until completion. Ski Resort Mount Garrick.
Imagine if you asked the artist Banksy to make a snowboarding game after taking a trip to City 17 and watching the movie They Live. That's Dark Summit, which I'll explain what I mean by that later. Looking at the B-roll, you'd assume this was a racing game, but it's more in line with Tony Hawk's Underground. You know, you got a mountain to freely explore downhill, but along the way you can take up missions that involve doing tricks, breaking stuff, or escaping a high-speed chase. With how touchy the controls are, some of these will get ridiculously difficult, but you can quickly reset the last mission. You'll be hitting reset constantly, especially on missions that involve switching to different rails as you grind. It's an utter pain. Some of these rails don't line up with each other properly, so you'll have to aim, but it's so easy to oversteer. This is like the worst aspect of the game. God damn it, I swear it takes like 1 minute to beat some of these challenges, but the challenges are so damn infuriating and poorly explained that it's just unfair. If you can adjust to the stiff controls, Dark Summit can be fun, albeit with major issues. Like if you miss a turn, you gotta reset the whole mountain. Who would have guessed a downhill one-way open world was a poor choice? Plus, a lot of basic info, such as a mission checklist, is hidden away in the menu. Like, also, the missions will tell you to do a trick, but you gotta pause and find that trick yourself. Oh wait, it's not in here. Let me check the basic control section, tucked away further into the menu. At least you can unlock new outfits, or should I say, you can unlock the same outfit again, except with, whoa, a CD player. Welcome back to the 19th century. What? Where it gets kind of weird is Dark Summit is more story-based as it follows these snowboarding freedom fighters causing anarchy. You see, the slopes are run by this sleazy militant corporation that closed off parts of the mountain and planted bombs. Everywhere you go, you see toxic radiation dumps, industrial structures, eyes on buildings watching you, and boiling piss pools. Nice. Constantly on the loudspeakers, they're just telling you to obey.
Your actions are known to us. We're aware of what you've been up to.
Roughhousing will not be tolerated.
Meanwhile, the other riders on the slopes are yelling at you just for being within 40 feet of them. Their voices are constantly echoing, almost like it's telepathic, or your character is just so emotionally hurt by their words that it repeats in their head as they struggle to sleep at night.
Don't run to me if you break your neck. Take your mother teach you any common sense.
You may think you're in for a fun licensed soundtrack of pop punk or ska music, but instead you got this droning techno ambience or drum and bass. It's a weirdly dystopian experience and every location roughly looks the same. I ain't never read the book 1984, but I'm pretty sure this is exactly like that book, or maybe not, I don't know.
Keep them coming.
Radical.
The studio Radical Entertainment has made a few snowboarding games prior for ESPN and MTV. Also, The Simpsons Road Rage, which explains the recycled sound effects. But Dark Summit was their way of breaking out of the oversaturated snowboarding genre. According to lead designer Justin Sheffield, the game was inspired by The X-Files, Apocalypse Now, Scooby-Doo, Pink Floyd's Adam Hart Mother, and more. If you think you played everything the snowboarding genre has to offer, I think Dark Summit is an interesting change-up. But boy, this is not a beginner-friendly game at all, so be wary.
Everything is normal.
You've opened some eyes yet again. Good work.
We'll be back with more GameCube games after these messages. It is the year 2001. Nintendo is hyping up the new GameCube and its upcoming titles. At E3, there was one clip shown for
Mario Kart for Nintendo GameCube.
And that's it. It was 5 seconds of recycled models from Smash Melee driving around inside a shadowy void, but it's a new Mario Kart confirmed. I wonder what it really looks like.
That's it? No.
Alright, 2003, around this era, there was like this weird phase where it was like Pokemon, you control 2 at the same time, you control 3 Sonic characters at the same time, 4 Links together at the same time, 100 frickin' Pikmin at the same time, and now we got Mario Kart Double Dash!
Mario! Luigi!
Yeah, 2 plumbers, 1 car, that's the way we played. Back then, we called this Mario Kart Double Penetration, because ain't no one leaving this sleep over a virgin, metaphorically speaking, of course. As the 4th Mario Kart game, you can now drive in teams of 2 and select one of many karts. The best ride? The Pimp Mobile. When playing, always remember, drive, throw stuff, switch. That was a tagline for both the game's marketing and when I want to cover for my coked up friend who was really the one driving. You can hold 2 sets of items, but save 1 for later. Plus, each character has a signature weapon of their own. 2 racers together may not be all that groundbreaking, but it's disappointing some of these elements weren't added to later entries. Meanwhile, in multiplayer, 4 drivers can have their own car, but you also have the option of switching between 1 person driving and 1 just throwing items, which, who wants to do that really? Just give me my own car. Now, what game made you say, wow, graphics can't get any better than this? Because for me, it was Double Dash, my 2003 Christmas game. Released 7 years after the previous console entry, they really upped the ante. And unlike Mario Kart 64, which had no unlockables, the more Double Dash you play, the more vehicles, tracks, and characters you unlock. But I suck, so I could never unlock Piranha Plant and King Boo. Now, before the game came out, Mario's creator Shigeru Miyamoto revealed in an interview that they were trying to get Sonic playable in the game. Yeah, this was 4 years before Mario and Sonic were in the same Olympic Games together. While it was a possibility, Sonic was not in Double Dash. But it's such a major thing to casually reveal in an interview, like, maybe we'll get Sonic in our game. I don't know, our first crossover with the 2 biggest gaming icons? Now, on top of the chaos of two drivers, certain tracks are either very narrow or have the racers driving into each other. There are some real risky shortcuts if you're deranged enough to try them, which I am. For Narnia! To add to that, many alternate pathways are available, like with the best track, Mushroom City. Maybe someday I can afford to live in a skyscraper. That's the dream. Watch out for the paparazzi, princess. But the wildest location is Baby Park, which it's just a small, cramped little circle. How bad could it be? Oh god, oh god, oh god, oh god, no please, no please. Ah! At no point are you safe here or safe in any track. It doesn't matter if your own child is clinging for dear life, being dragged against the pavement as their skin is peeled to the bone. You just gotta win. The grand prize is a Microsoft Zune and a Waluigi lap dance. You really want to miss out on that? Ignoring the child endangerment as one typically does, is Mario Kart Double Dash the best in the series? Yes. Well, the DS one is pretty good too, and also has online and bots for multiplayer. Yeah, I can't play Double Dash's multiplayer. I got no local friends, nor can I afford a second GameCube controller. I ain't buying third party. No multiplayer bots, but tight controls are what make a racing game perfect. And Mario Kart Double Dash was the best at it. The way the drift feels, Nintendo just could never top this one. Ever. So yes, this is the best one.
Don't give up. Challenge again.
Tag team, or else. Mario Kart Double Dash. Drive, throw stuff, switch. Only for Nintendo Gamecube. Literally for everyone.
So as you can see, I have a new girlfriend.
Where are your pants?